Hey, how's it going, dudes? So, today I'm going to be showing you how to extract textures and models from Doom Eternal and edit them to make your own custom skins and then put them back into the game successfully. The main reason for this video is because before this video, you were not able to make your own normal maps and have them work properly. They would always have issues, and I figured out why. And I'm going to go through the whole process of of uh, of doing it, making a skin. I'm not going to make a good skin because it would take too long. But first, you're going to want to go to your Doom Eternal directory in Steam or whatever, if you've got .NET or whatever, and make sure you have the required stuff. So you'll see that in the Doom modding Discord. So like mod injector, all that stuff. You're also going to need NVIDIA texture tools, exporter, and Divinity Machine, and Vega. Those are very important. So we're going to start with Vega. Vega is the tool you're going to use to extract from Doom. So in settings, select load models. I mean, you're going to need that. It will also load the textures too, or extract them rather. Export format PNG, and in models FBX. So for models FBX and with images PNG. So now you can go to load file. It's in warehouse resources. You can look up Doom Slayer, and some stuff will come up. The second one down, Doom Slayer sign. You can double click it. Yep. Or you can just click export selected. Now come to your Doom Eternal directory again. I'm going to exit out that. Your Doom Eternal directory, exported files, models, Doomslayer sign _3p, and you'll have your stuff here. Now you'll notice in here, these green images, they're normal maps, but they're not normal. No pun intended there, but they're not normal maps. They're very strange in the way that they're green. This is because the blue channel is black. It needs to be black. In other normal maps, it is white, or has white on it. Now, if you wanted to put this into Substance Painter, you would need to make the blue channel white, or invert it. The only issue is when you import it into Photoshop, which is what we were doing beforehand. You can do it with everything else. You can do it with these, but not these. And I wouldn't suggest doing it with these either. Yeah, don't put any of these into Photoshop, because they're all 32-bit images. And so, Photoshop cannot do that. It can do higher, and it can do lower, but it can't do 32-bit. And among other things, just believe me on this, don't put it into Photoshop, or GIMP, or Paint. So, how are we going to invert the normal maps to blue without using Photoshop? That's what I'm going to show you. So let's use Torso as an example. We're going to need Blender, and this is free, like everything in this video. Everything in this video is free, by the way, apart from Substance, but you can get the free student license very easily. Trust me, it is not hard, no matter what anyone tells you. So you're going to need a plane. We're going to need to go to shading, and make sure it's in material view so we can see what we're doing, and make a new material. Now over here we can go image texture, hook that up, and we can open the image, the torso normal. So it's called Doomslayer _game _torso _n for normal. This is going to need to be non-color, as you can see. This looks normal. This is well, ish. So if you see over here, This is what it looks like. Very sort of bright. If we open it in Photoshop, this is the issue, and I'm pretty sure this cannot be fixed. This is unfixable. It makes it a lot darker. Among other things, it ruins the colors. This will be completely broken and will look really bad in Doom Eternal. This is what your issues. This is what's causing your issues, and every image editing software does that. So we're gonna go into Blender, hook that up. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna separate RGB. We're gonna combine RGB. We're gonna hook those up. Now what we're doing is very similar to Photoshop. We're gonna invert the blue channel. Color, invert, blue. Now you're gonna see it's a blue image, or sort of bluey purple. You can also do this with the green. It doesn't make too much of a difference to the actual image. Do this if you're using the DirectX Substance Painter, I'm pretty sure. If you're using the DirectX setting, invert the green. There's OpenGL and DirectX. Now, make another image, but this time we're going to make an image. This can be 2048 by 2048, and you can call it whatever you want. Output, I call it. Now that can just stay there. Now, this needs to be non-color down here, and this needs to be sRGB. Now all we need to do is go over to cycles, because cycles is where you bake, to fuse, not normal, because normal is baking from actual geometry onto an image. Diffuse, deselect direct and indirect, color, and make sure this is selected so the white outline is around it. Bake. The reason we're doing this is because if you all we're doing is inverting the blue channel. We cannot put this into Substance if we don't do this. And Photoshop cannot do this properly without completely and utterly ruining the image. I cannot stress how badly it ruins it. Minute details and changes to normal maps are catastrophic, honestly. Now this might take substantially longer for you. That is why I also have, I'm going to link a Google Drive to this. I've got a folder called Substance Ready Normals. This is the aftermath of what we're doing here. But this is only for the default Doomslayer model. So, like, Phobos, most of the skins, but skins like Cultist Slayer, and skins that change the actual model. You'll have to do this separately for each one of them. You'll have to do this again. So now that we have output, we can come over to any of the image viewing ones, where it says image, and we can go save as. Now I'm just going to save this to my desktop. Can I delete them? I don't really want. Yeah, let's delete them. So just call this whatever you want. Call it output. Make sure this is 16-bit color depth and turn that to 0. Compression to 0. Save image. Now we have a normal map that is blue, but is also the right colors to work with Doom Eternal. So now, if we were to open Substance Painter, we're going to get into the what most of you will probably know how to do by this point, but there is some stuff to note, and there's also stuff after this you're going to want to know. So we're going to go to New. Make sure this is OpenGL, I believe, if you didn't invert the green. If you didn't invert the green, Put it to OpenGL. Always invert the blue, remember that. File. Doomslayer sign that is in the same folder as the extracted images. Doomslayer sign. This needs to keep in mind, and this needs to be PBR specular glossiness. This needs to be that. I forgot this last time I tried to do this tutorial. It needs to be specular glossiness, not metallic roughness. That is also, it needs to be OpenGL. Yeah, OpenGL and 2048. Import. Now, there we go. Now over here in texture set settings, you can bake your texture maps, but we're not going to do that yet because we need a normal map. So we're going to go to our export. Now I can just delete that because I've already got these. I've already got all of them. So I'm going to drag, in fact, get rid of that. All of these can just be dragged over. I'm going to have to do this for each, aren't I? They're all textures. Every single one. Import to current session. Now we have all of them. Nice. Now I'm going to start applying these. So for torso, what is that? That's torso. Now it's going to look a bit broken in substance, but it's not going to look broken in Doom Eternal. You'll see it's different. It's sort of like different colors. It's reflecting light weirdly, and you can see these seams here. Don't worry about that. If it looks like this, you're fine. It will fix this in Doom Eternal. If it looks fine in substance, it won't look fine in Doom Eternal. Now, legs. Where is legs? Just apply all these. So launcher, where is the launcher? Visor. I don't bother with helmet interior. You can if you want. Where's helmet? Right. That's all I'm going to bother with. So all of like the main things. Oh no, equipment launcher has not been done. So where's equipment launcher? Everything's been done, and again, seams, well, it'll look fine. Now we've done that, we can go to Bake Mesh Maps, deselect normal. We've already put the normals in over here. Don't do that. For my sake, I'm going to put 512 because I don't want this to be incredibly long, this tutorial. You should put it to 1024 or 2048. You don't need 4K. You really don't need 4K. Actually, I'm going to go even worse, just because this is going to take a while to bake for everything. As you can see, it's baking all of these textures for all of these different models. And since it has the normal map that we put in there, and we're not overwriting the normal map with the bake texture sets, it's using that normal map as well when baking curvature and stuff. So when we're putting like dirt in crevices with generators and edge wear, it will take into account that normal map. Now we can, I'm just going to throw some smart materials on there, just for an example. What's a good one to use? I don't know. This has a lot of sort of edge. No, it doesn't. I don't really know a good example. Yeah, Yeah, perhaps. So if I threw like this on all of these, I'm just doing this for, so as you can see down here, it's like putting darker edges here. You wouldn't be able to do this if you hadn't made mesh maps, because they're actually, well, smart materials. But there we go. And again, it's going to be annoying to work with. You could invert the, you could do it in Photoshop and put them in there, and then replace them with these ones, so that you don't have to edit this material with these. You could put these in after, so you can export correctly, but you don't have to edit the model correctly, if you get what I mean. But now we can have like, so with torso layers, I could have like that. I could have like edge wear. That one's kind of hard to see. So is that. These are going to look a bit terrible because I've got really low quality mesh maps, but you can see it's doing like ambient occlusion in like less lit areas and stuff like that. Now we're going to export these textures. I'm not, because I don't want to. These are, 2-minute materials. Change your output folder, obviously. Make sure this is specular glossy, PNG preferably, 16 bits, 2048. Even if you edited it in 4K, this needs to be 2048. Then you click export. Not going to do that. Now, I'm going to use this torso as an example again. Just pretend this was exported from Substance Painter. I don't need those extra files. So I'm going to go back to the Doom Eternal directory. We're going to open NVIDIA Texture Tools, because we've got a bunch of PNGs, but not any DDSs, and we need DDSs, and not just any DDS. We need DDS BC1A, which Photoshop can't export to. Nothing can really export to BC1A. You need NVIDIA Texture Tools. Oh no, this is the installer. I am an idiot. Open it from here. So and it will tell you on the website it needs an NVIDIA CUDA GPU or a CUDA GPU. I don't have a CUDA GPU, and I'm fine. So you can drag your image, so torso, over here. Make sure this is BC1A, and you're good. You can save. Let's save this to the desktop, and make sure this is DDS. Just call this image. Now we have that. We have image. This is a DDS now. DDS 32-bit, so it all works. One more thing we need to do. Back to the Doom Eternal directory. We have a thing called Divinity Machine. All we have to do is drag this image. You can drag multiple images over as well. This converts DDS BC1A to Targa. So you'll see over here we'll get a Targa. You can't open this. Now, this is the final image. You will have a mods folder, capital M, warehouse, and you'll have your folder. For me, it's set 13 because this is Phobos, and you can see I have all my Targa files. This is for the skin. I have some HQ. HQ is annoying, but all you have to do is drag and drop these into here. Make sure they're named correctly. They need to be named along the naming scheme, and annoyingly, Different skins have different naming schemes. Some skins have HQ. It's annoying. That is the process. You now know how to export normals properly without ruining them. I don't believe you were able to do this beforehand before we managed to work this out. That's what this tutorial is for. Now you can use custom normals in your textures. So yeah, hope that helps a lot, because everyone seemed to have the issue of some bits being too dark and some bits being too light and light not reflecting properly. But yeah, I hope that helps. That's about it.